abundance in a universe. And we all have the ability to tap into our deepest dreams. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Why do we wait until tomorrow when we could do it today? Step out of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Bedrock bookkeepers rock it from their home. Bedrock bookkeepers make it on their own. Bedrock bookkeepers live it in the zone. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family.
Okay, I love that song. This is Joe DiChiara, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown BGC. That's right, I'm live from Metro Manila. And if you're on the East Coast, it's 9:23 a.m. And if you're where I am, it's 9:23 p.m. So that's the beauty and the amazing things that we can do with technology today. Who would have thought, 14 years ago, no, when was it? 2007, I prepared what Napoleon Hill calls a definite chief aim. And if you know what that is, it's a short 3-paragraph business plan. Okay, and what are the 3 paragraphs? Are the top one is this is what I'm going to do. The second paragraph is this is how I'm going to do it. And the third paragraph is this is what the result is going to be. In 1969, Bruce Lee did a definite chief aim, and you can Google it. It's amazing that what he wrote there is exactly what happened with him. He wrote in there that he was going to be the world's greatest Asian movie star, something to that effect. And it works. And when I did mine in 2007, my definite chief aim had to do with helping millions of people, millions of entrepreneurs all over the world And I had no idea how I was going to do that. But what I wrote, the second paragraph, was I'm going to do this by speaking, writing, and talking to everybody that I can about entrepreneurial success. Not just entrepreneurial success, but success for the smallest of small businesses. And at that time, I had never written a book. I had done very limited public speaking. And now I was saying I was going to do this for millions of people. And lo and behold, now, what is it, almost 17 years later, I can connect to people all over the world, any day, any time. And yeah, chills run down my spine when I think about it. And I still have the original Definite Chief Aim that I wrote. And it hasn't all happened yet. I don't own my own private island yet, and I don't own my own jet yet. But hopefully in a couple of years that'll happen. So if you don't know who I am a CPA, obviously, born and raised born in Brooklyn, grew up most of my life on Long Island, became a CPA in 1987. I was actually tricked into becoming a CPA by my father. That's a whole nother story. I didn't know that meant I was going to be an accountant. All I knew was CPAs owned businesses went to them for advice, and that's what I wanted to do. So I've had a long career. I've worked with thousands of small businesses and individuals in all different capacities, from helping them start up, creating accounting systems, to all different kinds of tax problems, all different types of from tax audits, offers and compromise, installment agreements, and some criminal tax cases. Some of them I was asked to assist on by attorneys that needed their clients' books turned into complete and accurate tax returns. One of the most interesting tax cases that I ever worked on was the result of the firm I was working for was actually a criminal enterprise. That's where I got most of my tax problem resolutions experience from. I was hired specifically to handle all of those types of cases, from, a lot of tax audits. A lot of their clients got audited. And I found out why later on, because they were a criminal enterprise. And the way they were doing the clients' returns were fraudulent. And I didn't prepare returns. I only handled the problems. People that owed money, people that had, basic, tax notices that all had to be answered. And one day I got, my boss called me in and he's like, 5 of our clients got this letter about to contact special agent so-and-so. So that it was kind of strange, because you don't get a letter for your client to contact a special agent. Usually if there's an audit, you get, please contact revenue officer, not special agent. So came to me, I had to find out what it was, and bottom line was that the FBI and the IRS were investigating the firm that I had started working for 10 months prior. So I was the only one in the firm that wasn't interviewed, which kind of scared me at first, because I said, how come they're not interviewing me? Not that I had anything to hide, because I wasn't part of the overall, and they were doing a lot of different things, a lot. There was not-for-profit scams. There was money laundering, outright tax evasion. So I didn't get involved with, and I didn't even, once I left, because once they were indicted, I was gone. But it opened my eyes to the fact that, yeah, there are actually criminal tax preparers out there. And if you think about it, criminals need to get their taxes done just like anyone else. And from time to time, those types of clients come to us. They come to me, not because I have a reputation as I hope that I have a reputation as a good accountant. But they say even a blind squirrel can find a nut. So sometimes these literally criminals, try to get me to do their tax returns, and because there's something called due diligence. You have to ask the clients questions, and when they're evasive or things just don't make sense, or you catch them in outright lies, there's a problem. You cannot take them as a client. Uh, the most recent one was I had two uh, former military gentlemen. They were both on disability, which means if you're disabled, you're getting paid from the government because you can't work, let alone run a multi-million-dollar business, which is what they were doing. And they had set up a series of LLCs. Okay. And the funny thing is, they were actually making millions of dollars through government contracts. Okay. So some of the things they did was they bought $600,000 worth of real estate with cash. They bought a laundry mat, cash. They bought cars with cash. It was a lot of money they were making. And there were a lot of transfers, wire transfers. And after a while, what I found out was, because we kept finding another LLC, and they had a reason for all of these different LLCs. And what they were trying to tell me was all the wires were going to China to pay for their supplies. Well, if I have a bank account in Bank A and a bank account in Bank B, two different LLCs, and there's a wire transfer from Bank A, and supposedly it's going to China, but I have a deposit in Bank B for the same amount on the same day, something's not right. Something's not right. So my advice to somebody like that is, go hire a criminal tax attorney. Hire a criminal tax attorney. But tonight, what we're gonna talk about, and I'm not going into details about this case, that case. These are just cases that have been tried. These accountants have been convicted, and I just want to go through several of them and give you examples of what some of these jokers do. This was a Las Vegas tax preparer. He was sentenced to 13 years. Now, people commit violent crimes and don't get 13 years. So this must have been something seriously wrong. And we don't get all the details. Where I get this information from is directly from the IRS. So I'm not searching court cases. I'm not looking for all the details. They just basically give you the juicy stuff. This guy was convicted, and this is what he did. He was preparing tax returns for clients that included false deductions and fictitious businesses. So what this guy was doing, apparently, was just making up businesses. And it's not hard to create a business. It's not hard to create a business. And if you know the tax system, when you prepare a return, you could just make numbers up. So he's creating fictitious businesses for his clients, okay, making up numbers so that the numbers came out to be losses. And so what we got was the sentencing relates to his involvement in preparing returns for clients that included false deductions and fictitious businesses. And what they say, this type of fraudulent activity is a serious offense and can result in severe penalties. For this guy, it was 13 years in jail. That was his sentence. He was also ordered to pay almost $10 million. $10 million. So this tells me that he might have been involved in a massive tax fraud, okay, that involved multiple people. So that's the only way I see somebody getting 13 years for tax crimes and having to pay over $10 million or almost $10 million. Now, here's another tax preparer in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, was sentenced to 13 months in prison. So any amount of prison time, especially for a licensed CPA, a tax preparer, any amount of jail time is serious. It's serious. And sometimes what happens, these jokers get convicted. They come out of jail. Sometimes they get convicted. They don't get jail time, but they're barred from preparing tax returns. And what I've seen is sometimes they actually go out and create another tax scam. They create another firm under a different name, different tax ID number, and they get bagged. So there's some sick individuals out there. So in this case, another Florida tax preparer was sentenced to 97 months. That's a lot of time. And again, what I get is that this sentence suggests that this joker was involved in some serious tax scam. So let's see. We have a little bit more information. He was, again, fictitious businesses that lost tens of thousands of dollars each year. And this joker was told to pay almost $170,000. Not as much as the first guy. I mean, the first guy, that was a massive amount. So this is what, and this is really the purpose of these recordings, to really alert business owners and individuals that there are unscrupulous tax preparers out there. I've worked for a few of them. You know, the one firm was actually criminal, literally criminal. Other preparers I've worked for were, you know, on the fringes. Let's just say they would do things for their clients that I would never do. Now, that's when I was an employee. Okay, and when I worked for a firm like that, when I found out what they were doing, I would quickly resign. So you got to be careful. One of the ways is to check the qualifications. So if you go on the New York State Education Department, who actually issues my CPA license, and you look me up, I've never had a complaint. I've never had any kind of action against me. So you could go, if you hire an accountant, you could go on that website and see if they've ever been suspended, because sometimes when an accountant does something, and it doesn't have to be criminal, it could be unethical, it could be something that, it could be a whole slew of things. Okay, but they get suspended. So you don't want an accountant that's been suspended for something unethical. Okay, you could verify their credentials. Like I said, just because somebody says that they're a CPA or an enrolled agent doesn't mean that they are. You know, I've had one client in 40 years actually ask to see my CPA license. Okay, that's kind of odd. Also, most of my clients come from referrals. Okay, they come from one of my clients that have had a long relationship with me, and it comes from that know, like, and trust feature. Okay, also, there is actually, you can go on the IRS website, and I don't have the exact URL here, but if you just go to irs.gov or you Google, directory of federal tax return preparers, okay, and you'll see I am up there as a CPA tax preparer. If the IRS has a problem with the tax preparer, they're going to disbar them. But that doesn't stop some of these jokers from continuously preparing returns. So, just as an example, every year a licensed tax preparer has to get what we call a P10, prepare a tax identification number, and you have to answer questions. Have you filed for bankruptcy? Are you current with your tax returns? Have you been convicted or charged with the crime? Okay. If you don't pass that, you're not allowed to file tax returns. But what I've seen some of these jokers do is they'll get a program like TurboTax, and they'll put it down as self-prepared. They'll put it down as like the client prepared the return. And a lot of people, they don't even realize that return is not being submitted by the accountant. So look at your return, make sure that your accountant is legit. And if you like this kind of information, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I know if you're in California, it might be a little late. And we do have, okay, some of my team has been following me. Yeah, so thank you, ladies, for following the recording. And if you ever have any question, if you're a business owner or an individual and you have any questions, you can always connect with me. You can just go to timewithjoe.com. In the comments section, just put down that, where you heard of me. And if you're watching this, just mention, True Tax Crimes recording. All right, so that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Thank you. God bless. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you.